Hi, so I run a transport business and I'm a partner in silver coin business. And currently, I'm exploring the third venture. But there was a time when everything was invisible, even to me. And it became visible not because I worked harder, not because I fought harder, but because of one person who was wise enough to share his load. And that person was my husband. And this is our story. But before coming to my story, I want to ask that how many of you are the people who end up doing everything in the group? How many of you are people who have so much pressure in your head, but no one knows around you? How many of you are there who never ask for help? Because asking means like failing to you. And what I have learned from my marriage, from my business, and what you will face in your journey, in your role, in your relationship, that the ones who try to share the load goes further. And the one who doesn't, they stress alone, trying to prove that they don't need anyone. Now, coming back to my Diwali story, when I saw my husband who was standing alone while we all were having gala time, that day, I saw the weight. I saw a man who was carrying everything alone. And I want you to know what that weight looks like. So neighbor calling, Bhaiya ji, aapka beta society ka kaam kara dega na? Then his own kids who want him to be there in every parents-teacher meeting, every sports function. His own parents who needs his time. His sister who needs his time. His wife's family who needs his time. And his friends whom he haven't called from last 3 months needs his time. And maybe down the ladder, his wife who deserves his time, who needs his attention. And maybe further down the line, he himself. So an Indian man does not have a schedule. He has a timetable which others have made, and he has to honor it with a smile and without complaint. And let me tell you that this story is not just of my husband. It is of my brother, it is of my friend, it is of my business partner, and all of the men whom I have come close. Maybe different name, different business, different families, but same exhaustion, same silence, and same smile, which says everything is fine. When we know nothing is, but they never complain, because complaining was never a part of the role. And they kept on lingering till it became their identity. And today, I want to be frank with you all. I want to tell you, this talk is not about how I helped him. I didn't. For years, I made it worse. I argued, I complained. I repeated the same logic again and again. I fought for space in his own world. And you know what happened? That made him more stressed. That made him more frightened. So, instead of reducing it, I was becoming one. And then one morning, I asked myself 3 different questions. That, why didn't he let me in? Where is he struggling? How can I help him? And that day, I didn't ask for the permission. I didn't demand authority. I just entered into the office and started working, because accounting was his weakest and my strongest, and I knew where to help him. So, when slowly, things started changing. Let me remind you, not immediately, not dramatically, but gradually, the weight started shifting. The calls reduced, systems improved, automation came in, and then he has done what he has never done in his life, delegation. And then I moved into marketing. first client came, then others. And then something happened which no balance sheet can show. His sleeps improved. His morning became calmer. And our arguments reduced. And silently, instead of two people working in two different directions, we became one unit. Same level, same vision, same communication. For the first time, I felt that we were one. And let me tell you one thing about sharing. I thought sharing will reduce us. That means dividing responsibility, dividing success, dividing work, but it did the opposite. So when I was taking accounts department, he got the bandwidth of working in real estate. And when automation came in, I entered into the silver coin business. And currently, we are exploring the third. So, when one man was doing business, he was building one business. When two people are sharing the load, they are building an empire. Sharing did not reduce us. It multiplied us. So, let me ask everyone sitting here, and I want to speak with full respect, and this is not a blame. So, most of the men whom I have known personally are not selfish. They do not want to keep others small, but definitely they are patterned because they have seen one person taking decision, one person doing everything, saying nothing, and they thought it was strength. And you know what? Knowingly, unknowingly, you all behaved same. And no one told you that it was allowed to be different. Think about your team. Think about your friend. Think about the person you trust. Every single one of them is responsible. Every single one of them is capable enough. And every single one of them wants to contribute if you allow them so. Understand, we are not here to replace you. There are places where no one can replace you. Your presence in certain moments, your voice in certain decisions, and your experience in certain rooms. Those are the places we will never touch. But there are places where the gap is real, where you are exhausting yourself, where you are stretching yourself. Those places, let us fill. Not because you are weak, but because this is what a team does. You do not have to be the one carrying everything alone. You do not have to be the person who is responsible only. So, we have been taught that a leader is a person who carries everything alone. But today, let me pitch you a different definition of it. A leader is the one who knows exactly when to share his load because he is wise enough to know that shared capacity means multiplied capacity. Leadership is not control. It is shared capacity. And this thing, I have not just seen in my home or my city. So, a global survey across 10 countries have found that 56% of the leaders are burning. Not because they are capable enough, but because they think that needing someone will reduce them. Okay, let me ask people sitting here. How many of you have burnt a midnight oil completing your project which you three were supposed to do? You did it because you were best in it. You did it because you didn't allow someone to let in. And let me tell you, this habit of yours, this quiet habit of yours, you will carry with yourself everywhere. Every role, every job, every business, every situation, every relationship. Until you choose differently today. So, today I do not stand here as a girl who has fought her way in. I stand here because my husband was wise enough to share his load. He is the hero of this story. So, if you find a person who is wise enough to stand beside you, let them in, because the moment you do not lessen yourself, you do not surrender. It is the exact moment you become untethered. Thank you.